So, hey Cancer, my name is Chris and this is your beautiful reading for the summer 2026. Long awaited, that's for sure. Seismic shift summer 2026. It's no longer 2025. The Hanged Man has his enlightenment, right? So the Hanged Man shows up, first card. Let's just see a little bit of context, right? I'm not dealing the Celtic cross, by the way. Okay, there's a special combination here. I said this before, like I talked it over and over. I talked about this, how this seismic shift in 2026 is going to happen. In 2025, the old system was going down and the new system was coming basically online. You can think about this in terms of AI, you can think about this not just in this emergent technological consciousness, right, which is AI, but there's a completely new level of human consciousness arising. And you might have felt like the Hanged Man, right? In 2025 especially, which was kind of the year of hell for decent human beings, that's for sure. But this combination of the Hanged Man and the Empress, so you were pretty much hanging in there in the old developmental cycle, last 9 or 10 years, think about that. And you were having your enlightenment and you're emerging out of this as the Empress, all 4 queens rolled into one. You can really check out the other readings, summer readings 2026, Sun, Moon, Rising, by the way, if you want the full picture for your chart. She shows up all the time, summer 2026, in a mastership, all 4 queens rolled into one. So don't worry about the Hanged Man, because the Hanged Man, there's this part of the story where you're hanging in there, where you can't do much, right? Where you're waiting for something to emerge, but you already had your enlightenment and what is emerging. So you're getting away from that cross, for F's sake, on which you're hanging, and you're emerging as the Empress. Very special combination. Hanged Man to the Empress. It's not a bad Hanged Man. It's an enlightened Hanged Man, and you had to go through that. Maybe Dark Night of the Soul in the last few years. Think about, since 2008, you probably tried to do something very rational and very nice and checking all the boxes, impressing people, getting maybe a degree, maybe an education, really building something mostly from your head. This is changing. Now it's all about inner frequency. Frequency, energy, that's the new currency. Think about that. Queen of Wands, right? You got the Two of Wands. Then you've got the Knight of Cups, beautiful energy. How much do we got? Let's just take those two. The Nine of Wands, you coming out of your shell, the Chariot is here, everything is set for you. And there's again that topic of, having taken a beating, right? That's the wounded warrior trying to protect himself. That's the Hanged Man. And then he has his enlightenment. And maybe you had to protect yourself. Maybe you had to self-isolate. But what comes next? It's the Empress. It's the universe supporting you. It's you tapping into your passion, and not just your passion. You're still making plans. You know what you want, what you don't want. That's also very important. And you're following your inner calling. There's something that you just love to do, and you should give that energy, loving attention. Not just, on Saturday or on Friday night or whatever. No, you're a human being. You're a divine, wonderful creature on this planet. You're an expression of the universe. You have a divine right to nurture what is important for you. Not just one day during the weekend, right? No, it should be part of your daily routine. And making that happen, there's the Queen of Wands here. And you're emerging out of this, knowing what you want, what is important for you. 3, 5, 6, 7. Let's just do 3. That's the Hierophant, my friend. That's the 7 of Wands. That's the background story as well. Page of Cups. There is bottom of the deck the 4 of Cups. So, Cancer, my friend, how much are you still in this wounded warrior mindset, right? So you might still be looking into the past and trying to focus on what you have achieved, what you built since 2008 in the last 9 or 10 years, right? What have you built for yourself? These 3 cups. And then there is an offer from the universe, and not just an offer from the universe, something that you have realized while you were kind of healing and protecting yourself. That's your aura. That's your enlightenment, so to speak. And that enlightenment speaks everything about knowing what is important for you, knowing what you love, knowing your self-worth, loving yourself, being yourself a friend, and making sure that you are your highest expression, right? These 2, she's part of it as well. Queen of Wands, working with her subconsciousness, knowing what is good for her, that's the Queen of Wands, subconscious frequency and passionate frequency, but crystallizing it out into the real world. There's a daily practice to it, right? Showing up for yourself every day, doing what makes sense to you, do what you love. Not just one day, a few hours on the weekend, but every day, because it's just your freaking divine birthright. And if you are still in a situation where you're kind of hanging in there, where you kind of feel like, well, I got this job, it's 40 hours a week, maybe sometimes more, right? And I would like to do this, but you're kind of a little grumpy and you're looking at your, what is binding you is the question. What is keeping you stuck? What is keeping you from exploring that which you love and giving that energy and working with that? What is stopping you? And realizing that which is stopping you. Is it fear? Is it guilt? Is it shame? Is it toxic people? Is it a toxic work situation? Is it that you think that you have to have that job that is kind of killing your soul because otherwise you wouldn't find any? Have you tried? You see, what I'm trying to tell you is standing up for yourself means to get to know yourself and realize what is important for you. So I feel like you know that, right? You know that, and you're coming out of your shell and you're actualizing, you're realizing, you're manifesting, you're doing, right? This is not woo-woo stuff. You're just doing what makes sense to you, and you know what it is. So now is the time in 2026, summer 2026, to really go for it. That's what you love. And it's not just the Page of Cups. This is the Knight of Cups. So you're not just realizing, you're realizing that you got everything you need. You got the education, you got the power, you got the commitment, you got the self-discipline for it. Page of Pentacles, you have everything you need to make this work. And what is it that you want to make work for you is something that is just connected to your heart space. A new spiritual journey, a new way of expressing yourself. Do what you love. Carve out space and time for what you love. Do that. That's very, very important in life, and there's support from the universe. You know what it is. You just have to trust yourself and be yourself a friend, and step by step go into that direction. So all that defending yourself, that's how you started. You were pretty much stuck, and you were trying to protect yourself and heal from that maybe betrayal and narcissistic abuse. If you're a decent human being, if you're more on the empathic side, most likely in the last 9 years, people have ripped you off and betrayed you because that was just the freaking time of the narcissist. And it was all about standing up for yourself and protecting yourself and kind of hanging in there and endurance and stuff like that. All that is going to change. Summer 2026 is the time where it's kind of you leaving your shell, you're leaving your protected zone, right? You're stepping down from that tower and not just making plans and analyzing and planning, but actually getting on that horse. You got everything you need and do it. Go for it, right? And you don't need to be grandiose about it. Super support from the universe. So you're going on that horse, right? You're going for it. You do it every day, daily practice, whether it's writing your book, writing a poem, doing, just doodling because it feels good. You don't need to produce something to show something. You can just do what you love. And if it is painting or drawing, or maybe you just want to sit by the window and have a nice cup of tea and do that for 2 or 3 hours listening to music or just watching the birds or what the F. Hey, that's your effing divine birthright to do that. But if that is healing for you, if that is what you need right now, then by all means be a friend to yourself and allow you to be that, to do that. And if it is writing your book, if it is starting a YouTube channel, if it is, do it, go for it. Do not wait for someone to rescue you. Nobody's coming to rescue you. Sorry to say that. You have to do it yourself, and you know what it is, right? And then in summer 2026, I talked a lot about past energies and, the old circle since 2008, including Capricorn, which was very tough and, kind of agonizing, horrible time. And then the last 9 years, the rule of the narcissist, mindfucks and scarcity, guilt, fear, shame campaigns, everybody trying to convince us that we're not good enough and that we're shameful and we shouldn't have watched that weird porn 10 years ago and I should be shamed. That is a guilt, fear, shame campaign, but they want you to be stuck. They want you to feel not good enough. They want you to jump down from your little high ground up here into the mud with the pigs. That's where they want you, down there in frequency, in guilt, fear, shame, and blocked. But you're not doing this anymore. You're not giving them your energy. You're using your energy to create what makes sense for you. And then the universe comes along and says, hey, you're co-creating with me. I support you. Absolutely. I do support you. Super beautiful support from the universe. You're making it real. Co-creating from your subconscious frequency. Your inner peace. Protecting your inner peace. Cultivating your inner peace. How do you do that? I do that through breathwork and meditation. 10 seconds in. 20 seconds out. There are apps for that, get one. And then do it. Not just 5 minutes, but 5 minutes every day if you've never done it. And then you do this meditation, right? 5 minutes if you've never done it, but do it every freaking day. That's how you kind of keep your gates to the subconscious, which are also the gates to higher realms of consciousness, which is also the gate where all that universal support comes to. Not closed, right? Closed would be like this, guilt, fear, shame. Oh, I want to hide stuff of myself. I'm so ashamed of it, and I'm gay and I'm trans and I'm this and I'm that. And oh my God, guilt, fear, shame, Guilt, fear, shame is closing off that connection to subconsciousness and to higher realms of consciousness. And that's where they want you. Closed off, afraid, little, easy to manipulate. But that was the old circle. In 2026, summer 2026, you know what you want, you get everything you need, you're going for it, and the universe is supporting you. Beautiful, beautiful. Do what you love. Cultivate the gates of your subconsciousness, leave them open, cultivate them, nurture them, take care of them. This is your life. This is your frequency. You have to take charge of it. And how you manifest that? Meditation, breathwork every day, right? Do that. It will transform your life. And then, there's the Hierophant and the Empress, all 4 queens rolled into one. In a mastership, nothing to prove. You don't need to be the grumpy old man sitting on a throne, right? Telling other people what to do, that's not your thing, right? Summer 2026, in this constellation, you are just leading by example. You're leading by authenticity. You're leading by just doing your thing, and others will just look at you and say, hey, he, she, whatever unicorn is doing her thing, right? Maybe I can do my thing. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe you work a little less, right? I mean, are you still trying to make it in that system that is designed for you to die trying to make it? It's not designed for you to make it. It's designed for you to die trying to make it. So they rip us off left and right anyway. So make sure that you be in your power, cultivate your inner frequency, protect your peace, not buy into the BS that this effed up system, this dying system is trying to sell you. Guilt, fear, shame, inadequacy. Oh, you're not good enough. Who do you think you are? F that, right? You're a divine human being. You have every right to be here, and you have every right to give that which you love more freaking energy. Whatever happened, right? 5 of Cups is here. 5 of Pentacles is here, right? There's a lot of dark night of the soul frequency. You've been through some shit, right? But now it's time to really go for it. Go for what you love. Give that loving attention, and all the, all the overthinking energy, all the worries, all the blocking. There's the 9 and the 10 of the 9 and the 8 of Swords. So whenever your mind clicks back into that, oh, it's so bad, when I watch the news, everything is horrible, and don't watch the news. I mean, watch the news to stay on top of what is happening in the world. I mean, if somebody declared another war or something like that, you should know about that. But, going on social media and commenting on that and engaging in that drama is not going to help. It's just engaging you in drama. That's where they want you. No, there's the Empress again, a second time. This showed up in other readings as well. Clarifier and main card, Empress. Strength card, not fighting, not arguing, not defending, not engaging, not explaining yourself, not personalizing yourself. Toxic, narcissistic, antagonistic people, they are just that. They are toxic, antagonistic, narcissistic people. They can't help themselves. They need your energy by engagement. They need you to entertain their BS. And you just stop that. And you are entertaining what nurtures yourself, what brings energy to you, what brings joy and happiness in your life, what makes sense to you, what is just good and beautiful while you're doing it. That's what you nurture. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Those who can make you believe absurdities can make you commit atrocities. So there is kind of a spiritual warfare going on. Do not entertain their BS. Guilt, fear, shame, hatred, anger. Anger can be a catalyst for change. But guilt, fear, shame, hatred, you want inner peace, you want creativity, you want the expression of the highest version of yourself. You want to Work on your plans, work on your dreams. Your dreams are not just coming true because you meditate and do breath work. No, your dreams come true if you do repeatedly, if you're showing up for your dreams, if you do something, if you go to school, if you get the degree, if you learn your stuff, pass the exam, do that. And if you want to write a book, well, then you have to write a book. You're not just talking about it, you're not just posting on social media about, oh, I'm writing a book. No, you have to actually sit there and write it and do that more attention. And 2 times the Empress, the Hierophant is here. And again, you're not forcing yourself to do anything. There needs to be a flow process. Energy is the new currency. Take care of your own frequency. Do not allow anybody to manipulate your own frequency to guilt, fear, shame. Right? And you don't need to be, that's what I always say, you don't need to be grandiose about it. There is, if you do your best, if you show up for your dreams, for what is important for you, in summer 2026, everything is aligned. You got everything what you need to make that happen. And the universe is totally supporting this. Everything is kind of fired up for success, but you have to show up for it. And it's not like you don't need to be the best. It's not about perfectionism. Being the best is not it's not what it's all about. But you showing up, respecting your own commitments, and showing up like a effing grown-up. That's what it's all about. So, I don't know, heavy reading with 2 times the Empress and the Hierophant and the Queen of Wands, Strength card. Wow. Sananda. That's a beautiful frequency as well. You're going to like this because that's one of the best cards here in the Blue Angel Oracle deck. It's called Mastery. Sananda. Sananda, the evolved name of Jesus, is he who has ascended into a higher dimension of awareness. Through this card, Sananda invites you to ascend with him to the heart of love. In doing so, you can rise above the obstacles and challenges you face. And though the physical world will never be free of obstacles, from a higher perspective you will see they are not the inflexible solid structures you initially imagined. You think you exist in the physical world, but in reality the physical world exists through you. For in essence, you are light and have the power to transcend physical reality and raise your awareness by connecting with the eternal light and love inside you. Through light, all has come. Through light, all is transformed and healed. Very important. There is a lot in here, right? If you truly understand that. And the spiritual warfare is all about your frequency. They want to hijack your inner frequency. They want you to be in guilt, fear, shame, lower, denser 3D consciousness, right? Everything is about causality. Everything is about, oh, what do I do next? What do I do next? I have to do this, This is horrible, right? Guilt, fear, shame, scarcity mindset, worrying, fear, all that. But you know what you want. You know what you want to create, what is important for you. You know what you love. That you should have found out about that while you were kind of doing the external thing, trying to check the boxes, trying to do the right thing, what tells your mind, what your mind tells you to do, your intellect, what society views as a successful life. I think you try to do all that and you realized it's hollow and empty, and you're leaving yourself behind if you're constantly trying to fulfill the expectation of a society that is not for you, designed for you to even make it or be happy or joyful. It is pretty much designed for you to be a good slave and do as you're told, right? But you can just disengage from that and give that, which is bringing you joy and happiness within, give that more energy. Step down from your career, your job. Do you really need to work that much? And do you really need 10 subscriptions? Are you working for 10 subscriptions that are kind of distracting your frequency and your energy while you could, play an instrument, learn an instrument, write a poem, draw a picture, write a book, do something that makes sense to you where you can say, yeah, I did that. And if nobody reads the book, what the fuck? You did it anyway because it's meaningful to you and you learned something in the process and you made sure that you expressed your highest potential. You don't do this for external validation. If you're constantly waiting for external validation, you're in that frequency, you're dependent, you're easily manipulated. But if you free yourself from that, all that beauty is coming into action, right? That's really big, right? The 2 times the Empress pretty much clarified by the Empress, right? That's inner mastery. And I say this again, the Empress and the Hierophant, you're kind of leading by example, not by force or obvious authority. Your authority comes from your energy, your inner frequency, right? Your authenticity, your integrity. And you kind of lead by example, but not by fear, not by intimidation, not by strength, but by, you're not fighting the lion, you're taming the lion. And the lion is pretty much your subconsciousness, your impulses, your fears, all that, right? One animal spirit card. Now is a lucky time, number 49, that's rabbit spirit. Okay. A sunny meadow course and rabbit spirit appears to lead you out of your dark warren and into the light so that you can participate in a fertile and beautiful experience. It may seem safe below ground, but the magic happens when you come out and take the risk of being vulnerable and co-creating something new. You're being invited into a new life that you have no experience with. But have no fear. Today is also a time to be fruitful and productive as you enjoy rabbit spirit, sunny and prophetic energy. At this time, whatever you intend to bring to life will find fertile ground. There are no mistakes really when you are co-creating with spirit. So let new ideas spring to the surface, knowing that now is a lucky time of tremendous possibility. Summer 2026, my friend. Just make sure it makes sense here for you, not just for mommy and daddy or uncle and aunt and whatever, sister, brother, what the F, not just for your boss, not just for what society tells you a successful person should do or have done, that is all secondary, at least, right? At best, I would say. What is the most and primary important thing is, does it make sense for you? So you have to make up your mind. I think you already made up your mind. You know what it is. You know what cup that you kind of ignored in the old circle, but now you're taking that cup. You're doing the thing. Not to prove something, not to get external recognition, because it is the highest expression of yourself. That's where the support from the universe comes in. That's where your mastery lies. And that's where you kind of lead by example with the Hierophant. Just make sure you keep inner peace in your heart and you're acting out of, I say this again, integrity, authenticity, no BS, owning yourself, all of it. Even the shady side, right? Even that freaky porn that you watched 10 years ago, all that just that you should be ashamed and guilty. They always tell you, shame, guilt, fear, who do you think you are? F them, right? Don't engage, don't defend, don't explain, don't personalize. That's just what they do. And they will not stop that. That's just their thing. Your thing is creation. Your thing is expressing yourself. Your thing is co-creating with spirit, co-creating with your subconsciousness, keeping the doors open to your subconsciousness, making that a daily practice, meditation, breath work, and create from that and let it shine. That's your thing. Sananda, rabbit spirit, 2 times the Empress. It's going to be a great summer. Check out your yearly reading. It's linked down here somewhere. And check out your sun, moon, and rising sign. So if you want the full picture. And yeah, share, like, subscribe. Absolutely. Let me know what you think about it. And hopefully see you next time. Now, bye, my friend. That's all I got. I'm shutting up now. Ciao.